Yung pong mga mangingisda nga natin, tinataboy na po sa West Philippine Sea ng Chinese Coast Guard. Nag-encroach na po sila sa ating teritoryo sa West Philippine Sea. And now yung ating mineral at natural resources tulad ng black sand, dinadala natin sa China because a majority of this black sand mining goes to China. At ang kumikita lang, China and the operator, and the government doesn't make a single penny. Mr. President, Madam Sponsor, so alam niyo yung modus. So alam niyo pala yung modus. So bakit di niyo po buwagin yung modus na yan? Kayo po mismo nagsabi from your mouth. I challenge her na mag-issue na po ng Department order to stop this kabulastugan na minimina po ang ating black sand dito sa Pilipinas at dinadala sa China. Why don't we put a stop to this? Like I said, for the second time, ini-export po to sa China. Anay kinabang po yung China. If I heard it right, sabi po ninyo, Madam Sponsor, Mr. President, so mag-issue na po Department order ang DNR banning black sand mining.
Sobrang nakakagulat na balita. Grabe, Senator Raffy Tulfo, niyanig sa West Philippine Sea ang China. Patitigilin na ang mga Chino, total ban na sa Pilipinas. Ayon sa nakalap nating impormasyon, binira ang China ni Idol Raffy Tulfo matapos niyang mabisto ginagawang kalokohan ng DNR. Hinahakot nila lupa sa West Philippine Sea, tapos binebenta pala nila sa mga Chino. Kaya inutusan ni Senator Raffy Tulfo, eto si Senator Cynthia Villar, itigil niyo pagbebenta sa West Philippine Sea sa China ng lupa dito. Total ban niyo sila sa Pilipinas. Tara panoorin natin.
Let's go to black sand mining. Talamak po yung black sand mining ngayon sa Pilipinas. Nagkalat po yan sa iba't ibang lugar. Zambales, Cagayan, Ilocos, Mindoro, etc. Now, ang nasisira dito yung river, shoreline, and offshore. Ang pinagtataka ko, Madam Sponsor, why are we not doing anything, the DNR, to stop this? Kasi po, ito po yung modus operandi ng mga operator. Sila lang pong kumikita rito at hindi po kumikita yung ating bayan. Pinapalabas na quarrying and dredging. So therefore, all they need is a permit from the LGU para sa tinatawag nilang dredging para mapalawak yung river. Pero wag ka, nagba-black sand mining na pala sila. At marami po silang nakukuha na black sand at itong pinakamatindi. Yung pong mga mangingisda nga natin, tinataboy na po sa West Philippine Sea ng Chinese Coast Guard. Nag-encroach na po sila sa ating teritoryo sa West Philippine Sea. And now yung ating mineral at natural resources tulad ng black sand, dinadala natin sa China because a majority of this black sand mining goes to China. At ang kumikita lang, China and the operator, and the government doesn't make a single penny, except of course sa LGU na nabibigyan ng bahagi dito sa pamagitan ng taxation and of course pagkukuha ng permit. Kaya lang ginagamit nga kanina, sabi ko, quarrying and dredging. That's the modus operandi. So,
gusto lang ho sabihin ng DNR sa inyo that the DNR never issued government permit with this. It's the local government ang nag-issue ng local permit.
Mr. President, Madam Sponsor, I did not say the government. I said the LGU.
Yes.
Kaya nga, ang gusto kong mangyari sana, kung talagang pro-environment po ang ating DNR Secretary, then I challenge her na mag-issue na po ng Department order to stop this kabulastugan na minimina po ang ating black sand dito sa Pilipinas at dinadala sa China. Why don't we put a stop to this? Can you do that?
Sila po ay nagpunta na sa Pag-asa Island to establish the Philippine DNR presence there to increase are monitoring of this black sand mining. So, ipinapromise po sa iyo ng DNR that they have made the presence felt and they will try to stop this black sand mining.
Is that right?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Hindi nga. Hindi nga. Walang biroan po. Mr. President, Madam Sponsor, totoo ba? Hindi ba kayo nagbibiro? Kasi kapag kayo po ay panindigan yan, sasamahan ko po kayo. Lantarang po nagkakaroon ng black sand mining dyan sa Zambales. Alam ko po yung mga site. Gusto niyo po bukas na bukas, puntahan po natin yun at mapapahiya po ang DNR. Puntahan
Hindi
po
po.
natin yung site sa Cagayan at puntahan po natin yung site sa Ilocos, sa Mindoro, mapapahiya po kayo. Sabi niyo monitoring, puro na lang monitoring. Ang gusto ko po, hindi monitoring, implementation, hulihin kung talagang ayaw niyo po magkaroon ng black sand mining. Huwag yung po puro monitoring kasi madaling gamitin yung salita monitoring. Ang sa akin po, dapat meron pong aksyon. Na yung sinasabi niyo na wala kayo nakikita, then tomorrow,
Hindi, may nakikita sila, alam nila. Kaya lang, ang nagbibigay ng permit is yung local government.
I know.
And supported by the local government.
exactly, Mr. President.
Gusto nila na tulungan sila ng DILG kasi ang i-kontrolin mo yung local government.
Exactly, Mr. President, Madam Sponsor. Dapat mag-issue ng MPSA, yung Mineral Production Sharing Agreement, nang sa gayon makinabang po yung ating gobyerno, yung ating bayan. And then magpalabas ng Department Order ang DNR na kailangan may MPSA ang lahat na nagba-black sand mining, aka quarrying or dredging, at kapag halimbawa hindi po sumunod at patuloy pang ginagawa yon, so implementation wise, pwede na pong gamitin dyan yung power ng ating DILG to the PNP para pag-uhulihin sila. And we can also use the Bureau of Customs because yan po ini-export sa China.
Sabi po ng DNR, yung local government, DILG daw, local government ang nag-i-issue ng permit dyan. According to the rules, 5 hectares and below, local government. Sila daw, wala pa silang nai-issue permit dyan. It's always the local government.
Thank you, Madam Sponsor. Thank you, Mr. President. Then in that case, meron po dyan sa Zambales na more than 5 hectares. Then bakit hindi nyo po puntahan yon? Ang point ko rito, kung talagang pro-environment ang ating DNR Secretary, mag-issue siya na Department Order, I challenge her, na saying there is now an order putting a stop to all black sand mining. Blah, 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 blah.
They cannot daw stop 5 hectares and below. They can only stop yung more than 5 hectares because it is the power of the local government to issue 5 hectares and below. So if it can be determined that it's more than 5 hectares, then they can stop it.
Go to Zambales and you can see that
Baka ginagawa po nila, ini-issuehan nila pa 5 hectares para under the DILG. Tapos hindi, iba-iba ang pangalan.
okay
Kasi,
nga. Mr. President, Madam Sponsor, so alam niyo yung modus. So alam niyo pala yung modus. So bakit di niyo po buwagin yung modus na yan? Kayo po mismo nagsabi from your mouth na iniiba-iba yung portion, hinahati-hati.
So
Para
they promise to work with DILG and DPWH to be able to enforce that.
But for the meantime, Mr. President, Madam Sponsor, mag-issue ng Department Order ang DNR kung talagang pro-environment sila, stating na yung black sand mining is illegal from now on at wala na pong magba-black sand mining dito sa Pilipinas using the pretext na yun ay quarrying or dredging at yung mga hindi sumunod ay huhulihin because right now, like I said for the second time, ini-export po to sa China. Anay kinabang po yung China.
Alam naman natin lahat yan.
Exactly, alam po natin yan, Madam
Yeah,
Sponsor.
but,
so what are we going to do about it kung alam na natin
So
yan?
they will issue daw a department order
Thank you.
prohibiting black sand mining according to the
Thank you.
law. Oo,
Yes,
and then,
according to the law.
kung halimbawa magpalusot yung local government, then they have to coordinate with DILG and DPWH to stop that practice of the local government. Common knowledge naman po na talaga may gusto nito local government.
Good. So, If I heard it right, sabi po ninyo, Madam Sponsor, Mr. President, so mag-issue na po Department Order ang DNR banning black sand mining in the Philippines.
Okay.
Did I hear it right?
Yes.
Okay, very good. I'll take your word for it. And gusto ko pong makita yung pong ipapalabas yung Department Order. Give me a copy of it. And everybody's gonna be happy. Even the Filipino people. Okay, let's move on. Let's start with the travel expenses. The Office of the Secretary of the DNR was allotted
Alam yan.
in 2023 1.1 billion pesos, and in 2024 it will be allotted 1.173 billion pesos. Now, ang gusto ko palang malaman, paano po nagastos itong 1.1 billion noong 2023? First question. Pangalawang question, ano po ang nagbunga sa mga trips na ito? At pangatlo at follow-up question, meron po kasi ako natanggap na mga reklamo mula mismo sa mga taga-DNR na yung secretary daw po ng DNR ay isang jet setter. This year alone, or starting nung siya po ay ma-appoint, umabot po sa 13 to 14 times yung kanyang foreign trips. Correct me if I'm wrong. Although most of it were official, then if it were official, then ano-ano po yun? Yun muna po ang question ko, Madam Sponsor.
Ito mamang ang OSEC includes bureaus and regions.
Ano ba yung bureaus? Okay. The GAA budget spent for travel in 2023 is 1.1 billion. 1.1 billion ba yan? But it includes the travel of the Office of the Secretary, including 4 staff bureaus, namely the Biodiversity Management Bureau or BMB, Forest Management Bureau of FMB, the Land Management Bureau, and the Ecosystems Research and Management Bureau. It doesn't all fall under the Office of the Secretary.
Okay, so ibig sabihin meron pong iba't ibang departamento din ang gumamit
Yes.
sa 1.1 billion. Okay, that's a good answer. Okay. Now, ang sunod ko pong katanungan, ano po yung pakinabang ng taong bayan doon po sa 13 to 14 foreign trips ni DNR Secretary Loizaga?
Hindi po 13, 14.
Oh, ilan?
Like I said, correct me if I'm wrong, kung tama ba yung binigay sa akin info, 13 to 14 trips, although doon sa 13 to 14 trips, meron ka atang personal trips doon, so wag na natin i-consider yun, maybe 2 or 3,
Oh, ilan
but let's stick with the official trips. Ano po ang pakinabang ng taong bayan
Ano yung
doon sa mga foreign trips na madalas daw pong mangyari
Sino ikaw ang sumagot?
compare po sa mga previous DNR secretary na hindi ho masyado nagbibiyahe sa abroad? They prefer na magstay na lang dito at mag-ikot na lang po sa ground, mag-inspeksyon at tutukan po yung mga problema sa iba't ibang region.
United Nations, all foreign trips were official. Yeah.
How many foreign trips?
5 or 6, I'm just confirming.
Oh yeah, you just list down.
United Nations.
Can the DNR secretary, can we put her under oath if she says 5?
We will suspend the rules if she's going to answer. You want?
Kasi pag sinabi niyang 5, nope, I don't think nagkamali po yung mga source ko. Let's put her under oath na talagang
yung
panindigan niya na
5 ilan? 6, 5?
5. I don't think so. Hindi lang po 5.
I think
Hindi
that
lang po
sinasabi
six.
niya
Hindi
yung
lang po
kanyang
7, 8, 9,
ibang
10.
trip personal. So it's not charged to the only
Were official.
5
All-
trip personal, sabi po nung aking source, lahat yun ang ginamit niya yung kanyang diplomat passport. So kung diplomat passport ang ginamit niya, it has to be official. Kasi doon sa mga trips na binigay sa akin ng tipster ko from the DNR people
Ito,
alone,
ilan mo, Andrea?
2 beses lang niya ata nagamit yung kanyang kanyang
Except for the two
personal
working
passport.
visits, Japan,
So karamihan daw doon ay
ito.
puro
Sustainable Development, Water,
diplomat passport.
Montreal, by the
Kasi kung sasabihin niyang 5, then let's put her under oath, Mr. President.
Okay. So there are five trips
more than 5 months.
for the United Nations, the Asia Pacific Ministerial Conference for Disaster Risk Reduction. Number 2 is United Nations Framework on Climate Change. Number 3 is
Biodiversity Conference.
United Nations Biodiversity Conference in Montreal, and then
United Nations Water in New York.
United Nations Water in New York, and
United Nations Sustainable Development
United Nations Sustainable Development where?
in New York.
In New York also.
Then United Nations Sendai Framework. One more Sendai Framework.
Sendai Framework, UN in New York.
Then Japan and Washington, D.C. Official.
All Sendai Framework in New York, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and Japan and Washington DC,
7.
all official trip.
How about yung trip niya sa Abu Dhabi and sa Dubai?
That was recently po.
Mr. President.
Abu Dhabi and Dubai are both.
Was it personal or official? Kasi yung sa Abu Dhabi and Dubai, sabi ng aking source sa DNR, ang ginamit po doon ay yung diplomat passport.
Pre-conference, katatapos lang po ito. United Nations
And
Climate.
Egypt as well.
Egypt is Sharm el-Sheikh, that's COP27. That's the United Nations Framework on Climate Change. Abu Dhabi is the pre-COP conference.
So bakit hindi po binanggit yung Abu Dhabi and Dubai in the first place? So
Recently lang daw eh. It's
Kaya all in
Abu
all.
Dhabi, Dubai, and
The conference was in Abu Dhabi. Okay. And then Sharjah.
So tama ba 13, 14 or less than 13, 14? Like I said, correct me if I'm wrong kasi yung information that was given to me, yan po ay galing sa iba't ibang opisyal sa DNR. So meron sa kanila siguro medyo kumulang, meron sa kanila medyo sumobra. So tinitimbang ko ngayon kung ilan yung sasabihin nyo,
Hindi, nakalagay sa kanya.
papayag na ako. Basta't wag lang 6.
Sharjah is Dubai.
For the information of the good sponsor, first time in history na meron tayong DNR secretary na almost every other month bumibiyahe sa abroad.
I would
Yan
like
po
to
yung
add,
ma'am, let me add. Yan po yung reklamo ng ilang mga taga-DNR mismo sa iba't ibang region na yung kanilang DNR secretary hindi po nila nakikita or bihira nila makita in person para mag-inspection, unlike the other DNR secretaries who goes to the ground para makausap sila at mag-inspeksyon. At yung DNR secretary daw nila ngayon walang ginawa kundi puro forum lang daw sa mga hotels at mga video calls, video conference, at wala raw talaga pupunta sa ground. Yan po yung comment mismo sumbong na galing sa mga taga-DNR.
alam ko po ano na magka-problema tayo sa Mindoro and dun sa spill. Alam ko palagi siya naandun sa Mindoro, di ba? To
How about,
settle
yes.
that.
Okay.
And sinasabi niya, ito daw Dubai, most recent to, kaya hindi niya agad na banggit at hindi pa tapos. Meron pa sa...
Meron pa. Oh, okay.
Hindi, yung Abu Dhabi and parang November and December tong Abu Dhabi and Dubai. Hindi to before.
No, the Abu Dhabi ay nabiyahe na.
Just finish.
Yes.
And then
yung Dubai, ilang beses nabiyahe na. Ilang beses ba sa Abu Dhabi at ilang beses sa Dubai?
Once lang daw. Yung Dubai is
Sharjah for the international
coming pa, 'di ba? Yun.
No. Na-consume na po yun. Again, I'll put you under oath. Pag sinabi niyo po kaming pa lamang.
of the United Arab Emirates government.
Please don't lie.
Anong month? Natapos na to. Hindi pa tapos to. Itong Dubai.
Ma'am, second week of September yung Sharjah, Dubai.
Okay, sirit na.
Sharjah.
Meron po akong records dito na binigay po ng mga taga-DNR. Andito po lahat kompleto.
Pero ito,
Hindi po 6.
1, 2,
Pero I cannot give it to you kasi confidential po to supposed to be.
4,
Sabi ng source ko, huwag
5,
ipapakita. Of course, hindi ko
6,
papakita. And I respect my
7.
source. Kaya nga yung source ko,
7.
yung isa nagsabi 12, yung isa nagsabi 13.
Bio.
Gusto ko lang ma-verify kung alin ba talaga, 12, 13, wag lang 6. Siguro tatanggapin ko 10, 11, 12, wag lang 6 talaga.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7.
8, 9,
Ano
10.
yung pang 8?
Ma'am Alcantis, tapos pakisabi naman po ito. All official.
Mr. President, the reason why I'm
We
asking
just
this,
want to,
let me just to continue, ma'am.
we
Sure.
just want to
Kasi
say,
we're talking about people's money here. Kaya nga-
Session
Yeah.
suspended for a minute. Ano lang, you guys.
Mr. President, we are just preparing the official list, so we will give it to Senator Tulfo to confirm with his list.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Madam Sponsor. Now, my follow-up question then to that is, pwede ho bang magbanggit yung ating Secretary sa DNR, ano po yung naging pakinabang ng taong bayan doon po sa mga trip niya sa abroad, whether that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mr. President,
Sinasabi po na lahat ng trip na yan is ministerial level. She has to go and she has the approval of the President. Kasi may mga conference na dapat yung Secretary of DNR should go. At meron namang conference na pwedeng mag-send lang siya ng representative. So itong sinasabi niyang trips ay talagang she has to go kasi ministerial, she has to represent the Philippines.
okay. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Madam Sponsor. But that didn't answer my question. My question is, again, for the second time, ano po yung naging pakinabang ng taong bayan doon po sa mga foreign trips?
So ito
ni,
ay disaster risk reduction. Another United Nations is climate change conference, conference on biodiversity.
Sendai framework for disaster risk reduction.
Then another one, invitation of Abu Dhabi for the Sendai UAE, United Arab Emirates, for the disaster risk reduction, and then
Climate change conference.
and another climate change conference. The problem with the DNR and even the Climate Change Commission, their conferences are always abroad. Kaya hindi lang DNR ang malimit sa abroad, marami din yung complain na yung mga Climate Change Commission, palagi rin sila sa abroad kasi marami silang kasi ang disaster, this environmental problems, they always require it's more of not local, it's more of international kasi ang mga very active dito sa mga ganitong problema on environment are the foreign countries. It's not as popular in the Philippines. So, from my experience as a practitioner of environment and natural resources, parang ang mas particular dito are the foreigners, hindi yung Pilipinas. In fact, ako yata lang ang mahilig sa Pilipinas na gumawa ng project. Pero marami talaga international. And our benefactors are all foreign countries. Nagbibigay sila sa atin ng fund, ng loans for this kind of projects. Parang very concerned sila about the environment.
So, Mr.
Kaya palaging foreign. In fact, if you will look at the funds being given to us to promote disaster resilience and this other environmental project, it's always foreign funded. Hindi malaki ang ibinibigay ng foreigners than what we include in our GAA.
Okay, Mr. President, Madam Sponsor, so may I get a list of those you
Ilan
did
to?
mention about funds that were given to us by foreign countries where our DNR Secretary visited? Okay. And thank you, Madam Sponsor. Thank you, Mr. President. My next question then, nagkaroon ho ba ng policy directions na binigay ang DNR Secretary after her trip abroad? Because that was what the people on the ground, especially yung mga regional directors, were waiting upon the arrival of the DNR Secretary. Nagkaroon ba ng policy changes? Nagkaroon ba ng department order as a result of that na naging beneficial po? Hindi lamang po sa DNR main office, sa core group, kung tawagin, kundi maging sa pangkalahatan, so to speak. Mr. President.
Mr. President, every time she goes abroad, the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, they have a meeting afterwards with the core group of the DNR, especially the USEC and the Philippine delegation who came with her, and they talk about it in their in the General Assembly and flag ceremony, and in the meeting of the group, the managing group of the DNR.
Flag ceremony, that's right. That's exactly what my sources did mention to me. Aside from the conference and the flag ceremony where the DNR Secretary did speak about her trip abroad, ang gusto ko lang po talaga malaman at gusto po malaman ng mga taga-DNR executives sa iba't ibang probinsya ay kung meron po ba yung concrete na policy directions that were given to them in black and white saying na we have to do this because of my foreign trips. Ito po yung nakita ko na pwede natin papakinabangan. Ito yung department order that I have to issue because I found out na we really need this and that, etc. So meron po bang ganon? Yung po kasing nire-request sa akin, mga lumapit sa akin ng mga taga-DNR. And I'm just telling you what they were asking me. Mr. President, Madam Sponsor.
Mr. President, they said the department says that whatever orders, DNR orders and policies, yung mga nakuha nila sa kanilang foreign trips are incorporated. It's not, hindi na nila sinasabi definitely what foreign conference, but it is included in their formulation of policies and DNR orders to their management and the employees of DNR.
Kaya nga, Mr. President, Madam Sponsor, ayoko na maging makulit. Ang kailangan po, concrete, something in black and white na nagbunga po sa biyahe ni DNR Secretary Loizaga at siya po ay nakapag-issue ng mga memorandum order or department order or meron pong policy directions given to each and everyone sa iba't ibang region na may mga problema. Yun po yung gustong malaman nito mga regional director kasi so far wala raw po talaga sila tatanggap, although tama po yung binanggit ninyo sa flag ceremony raw, doon binabanggit nga pag sa mga forum sa core group, doon nababanggit yung foreign trips. Ang gusto kasi malaman ng mga taga-DNR mismo, saan na yung makikita namin na nagbunga yung kanyang foreign trips. Kasi po medyo nagtatampo po yung mga opisyal sa DNR na
mga financial technical support.
Wala silang napapala doon sa foreign trips na pwede naman i-delegate kung tutuusin. Siguro may advice to the DNR Secretary next time, paki-delegate na lang po siguro sa inyong mga matataas na opisyal dyan sa DNR, yung mga foreign trips mo. Baka pwede pagtunan nyo na lang po yung mga problema sa DNR na mamaya babanggitin ko kung ano-ano itong mga seryosong problema na pwede yung tututukan versus kayo po yung mag-abroad. Yan po ang aking humble, unsolicited advice. Base po yan sa request ng inyong mga kasamahan sa DNR.
Mr. President, they have done policy reforms because of these conferences with regards to water. They push for the creation of the Water Resources Management Office, and they also gathered financial and technical support for their environmental projects. We have here the funding for projects not covered by GAA, Memorandum of Understanding with the Japanese and U.S. government, Global Environmental Facility with EU under the Green Economy Program, and the ADB and World Bank support. These are the things which they got because of their representation in the conferences abroad.
Thank you, Mr. President, Madam Sponsor. Para mas mapaiksi tayo, mapabilis. Ang hinaing kasi ng mga regional directors or people doon sa grounds, especially sa mga provinces, imbis kasi one of the reasons kung bakit pupunta sa abroad, yung DNR Secretary natin, siguro is climate change to mitigate the effects of climate change, etc., etc. Why don't we go to the basics? Siguro tutukan na lang natin yung mga problema tulad ng pagtatanim ng mga puno, yung National Greening Program, hindi po natututukan yun. Meron po tayong 2-point-something billion every year budget for that. That will be my next question. Anyway, let's move on na po.
With regards to the National Greening
Mamaya na po yun,
Program,
Madam.
can I answer that?
Okay,
The National Greening Program. With the National Greening Program, I have asked them to assign the greening program, except the one for yung mga native yung for the IPs, to transfer them to the legislated protected area. Kasi every legislated protected area in the Philippines have what you call protected area management board. So the protected area management board is composed of, if there's a senator there, congressman, the mayor, and the representative of the barangay, the NGO, and the DNR. They are the ones who compose the protected area management board, and they supervise the activities in the legislated protected area. So I asked them to transfer, kasi palaging question do sa National Greening Program, saan ba nag-green? Ito, kung nilagay mo sa legislated protected area, which numbers 114 in the Philippines, covering 4.5 million hectares, may tuturo mo na doon inilagay yung mga National Greening Program, and it will be managed by the Protected Area Management Board, except yung para sa IPs, kasi not necessarily yung mga IPs nakatira sa protected areas. Yun ang aming strategy sa greening program. We know that it is very important because it is the solution to our problem with climate change. Kasi yung climate change nagiging mainit, so dumadami yung tubig. Minsan kailangan may mga puno para makontrol yung pag-flow ng water from the mountains to the people. So yun ang tawag niyan, reforestation, and taking care of the forest para ma-mitigate ang climate change.
Thank you, Mr. President and Madam Sponsor. FYI, yung binabanggit niyo po kanina, Madam Sponsor, yan yung pang 6 topic. Nasa 1 pa lang tayo. We will go to that.
Okay.
Extensive,
and
I promise.
We want also to tell you what are the local trips of our DNR chief. Meron
trips.
silang MANCOM sa Clark,
Okay.
tapos multi-sector forum sa Mindanao, sa Visayas, Mindoro Oil Spill, Palawan El Nido, Siargao, Pag-asa Island in Palawan, Puerto Princesa, Baguio, Iloilo, and Bataan.
Okay. Well, pinag-usapan na natin yung local trips. Nung second or third quarter this year, the DNR Secretary was expected to visit Nueva Vizcaya. In fact, after Nueva Vizcaya, she was set to go to Santiago City, Isabela. Hinihintay po siya ng mga taga-DNR doon sa Santiago at hindi po natuloy. But anyway, you can
what
deny
is
it if you want.
May I ask what is the concern of Nueva Vizcaya and
Oceana Gold.
Isabela?
Oceana Gold Mining.
Oceana Gold
Yes.
Mining.
She was set to visit Oceana Gold Mining kasama po yung may-ari ng Oceana Gold para doon sa expand nung permit ng Oceana Gold. But anyway, mamaya pa ulit yan. Nasa pangatlong topic yan. Nasa first topic pa lamang po tayo. Oceana Gold. Mag-helicopter pa ata si DNR Secretary kasama yung may-ari ng Oceana Gold na Australian-Canadian. According to my source. Kaya lang,
But the secretary decided not to go.
not to go. Okay. So, bakit po sana kayo sasama?
Medyo controversial din kasi ang Oceana Gold.
Exactly.
Ayaw ng local government
Ayaw.
dyan eh.
Pero nakaschedule na po sana yon.
Siguro ayaw din ni secretary na maging masabi na kasama niya yung Oceana Gold and she is supportive of Oceana
In
Gold.
the first place, dapat hindi siya pumapayag sa umpisa pa lamang. Sana po hindi na schedule. Kasi po, nakaready na po yung mga taga Nueva Vizcaya, nakaready na po yung mga taga Santiago DNR. Meron pa siyang welcoming committee kung ano pa pong mga ginawa para sa pag-welcome sa kanya. Hindi lang pala natuloy kasi naka-schedule na po yan. Sana, kung alam niyo po controversial yun, tinanong daw niyo agad.
Baka yung nag-prepare ng welcoming committee is yung Oceana Gold. Kasi hindi daw niya alam na she has to go to,
Alright.
to
Sige.
that
Okay na tayo doon.
place.
Ngayon, ikaw, bilang Pilipino, ano ang masasabi mo at reaksyon sa balitang ito? Mag-iwan ka ng komento sa ibaba at atin pong babasahin isa-isa.